I'm Jason Manning. That'd be Scott Savage over there, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
And we're going to bring John Ratzenberger into the conversation. Good morning, John. How are you?
Yes, Jason and Scott, shouldn't it be Lars and Ole up there?
It probably should.
Oh, cripes, I think you're right.
Yeah, should we just do the whole thing in a northern Minnesota accent? Well, actually, here's the deal, John. Maybe maybe you're listening to us.
I love that accent.
And you hear the accent already, and if we try and put it on, we're just doubling down on what we're already doing.
I heard a story that was told to me is true, that there was a fellow from Greece, Nick Nikopoulos, went to northern Minnesota to work at his cousin's restaurant, loved America so much he wanted to become a citizen, which he did, and he wanted to change his name so it sounded more American, so he changed his first name to Spen.
I used to know a kid growing up. His name was Ponolds Papaginianopoulos. That was his name, Ponolds Papaginianopoulos.
There's a name for a hockey jersey in the back, huh?
I'd go for Sven or Ole, too,
Wow.
if I were Ponolds. John Ratzenberger, it's a pleasure to have you on. We're going to get to the main monkey business here in just a moment, since today is National Skilled Trades Day. For folks listening over the age of 40, you would hear John as Cliff Clavin on Cheers exclaiming a whale's intestine could stretch out to 3 miles and change. If you're under the age of 40, everything Pixar's ever done, you've heard John's voice on. And I'm going to do, I don't know if you remember the old Chris Farley bit on Saturday Night Live where he interviewed Paul McCartney and he's all nervous and sweaty and that bit. But I'm going to do one of those quickly. As a little kid, there was an episode of Cheers where Cliffy was getting bullied in the bar. And then Cliffy said, I don't want to hurt him. I know karate. And they all mocked and ridiculed you. You came back in with bricks. I think it was Diane and Carla holding him, and then you smashed him with your head, and the bar was wowed and everything. And as a little kid, of course, it turned out you didn't know a damn thing. You ended up with a concussion. But I was so moved by that episode, and it was a lesson as a little kid saying, first, don't take crap from anybody, and two, fake it until you make it. I just want you to know that Cliffy left that kind of an impression on me.
Well, there's an interesting backstory. I don't know if we have time for me to tell it.
Sure.
30 seconds. But during the rehearsals of that particular show, the producer said to me, don't worry, John, we'll have a stuntman come in and do the actual karate. And I said, well, you don't have to, because I actually, in real life, know karate. And he laughed, and I realized, because it's the only time I see him is at work, he thinks I am Cliff. But in real life, in college, I was on the karate team.
Oh, wow.
We travel all over the Northeast in competitions, and I fought in New York City and Brooklyn and all that. And so I knew it. I knew what I was doing. And so the next day at rehearsal, I brought in the boards and the bricks and showed him. I said, "No, I can really do this. It's not." But anyway, that's the backstory.
Wow.
So Cliff didn't know karate; he was faking it. But John Ratzenberger, was on the karate team in college.
Well, it's one of those, you think you know a guy, and today being National Skilled Trades Day, you've been passionate about this topic for so many years. We've actually had you on a couple of years ago talking about the same thing. You've pretty much made a second career promoting the trades, the importance of American-made products, and this passion stems from your upbringing. You were a carpenter, or at least learned the trade at a very young age. Yeah,
still am. I just finished making a little rocking chair for my granddaughter.
Aw.
And I enjoy doing it, but again, that's the way I grew up. It was the 1950s, and everybody had a skill. That's what you did. And then when kids played, we were just released to the outdoors. It was like opening the cage and letting an animal out to feed. They just say, "Go on, get out of here. Be back before the streetlights go on." So what do you do as a kid? You congregate, you build a tree house, you soup up your own bicycle. You're always doing something. But we didn't realize it. We thought we were playing, but we were learning skills. We were learning common sense. And we've taken that all away from children now. 40 years. We've been without shop classes or home ec classes. And so you wonder, all these kids out in the street, those skills. Well, not everybody wants or needs to go to college. But even if you do, it's still nice to have a skill that you own, whether it's car repair or making hats. I don't care. But have a skill that you own, that you can be proud of, that you can point at years later and say, yeah, I built that, I made that. And go on, be a psychologist or art critic. Who cares? But, have a skill that you own. And that's where I raised my kids, and it seemed to turn out okay so far.
Yeah.
But I'm just proud of the fact that I can do that. I can get a job anywhere in the world.
If you don't mind, I'm going to play this music behind you. I'm just going to continue to let you preach, if that's all right, because we love what's coming out of your mouth, John. So what that is?
It sounds like rollers. It sounds like ice skating.
What that has led to, and we can attest to this because we have some really great local companies. Raven Crossbows comes to mind.
Yeah.
That are on the air, and they're saying, look, we have these manufacturing jobs. We're going to give you the world. We have this great place to work. Please come work for us. And it's led to this. It's a crisis, isn't it?
It is nationwide. The companies are desperate for truck drivers, for instance. The RV industry, which is booming, can't get enough people. They'll pay you to relocate from anywhere you are, and they'll teach you the skills necessary to make and repair and inspect our RVs. That's how desperate these people are, and that's because the educational system canceled shop classes all those years ago. Because everybody who has those skills are retiring now. But it really is desperate. So kids out there that don't know what they want to do, look into the skilled trades.
Well, and is there a stigma? I mean, I shouldn't say is there. There is a stigma that comes along with a manufacturing job. As you point out, Jeff Foster, another great local company on the air with us, looking for drivers. There's this unnecessary stigma that comes along with doing manual labor or a trade, and that's just not necessary or the case. Yeah,
no, not necessary at all. I mean, it was easier for me back in the 60s, being a carpenter because girls thought it was sexy to wear a tube belt. But then, the hippie thing came in, and you're Mr. Macho. And I don't know, somewhere it just turned right around. And why there's a stigma, I'll never know. But it happened, in the 70s and 80s, where this new way of looking at the world, I guess. But we need bricklayers, otherwise, who's going to build the building?
Yeah, you're 100% right. I thought for an opening question to be a wiseacre, I'd ask you what your favorite Xbox game was, but I don't know if that would have went over well.
I'm not even sure what Xbox is.
That's good. That's good. That's a good thing.
John, we only have time for one more question. As we get back to our unnecessary jobs, because I know what you're talking about. What do you have coming up? Because you're an actor, you're a very good one at that. What do you have coming up in your unnecessary gig world?
Well, I don't know if it's unnecessary, but it's a gig. It's got Monsters of Work, the new series coming on Disney Plus. I think that starts in July sometime. I play the Yeti, and a lot of the film studios still aren't functioning. So wait for them to ramp up with sitcoms and whatnot. But like I said, I still have a garage full of carpentry tools. I could go out there and I could have a job this afternoon if I wanted. But I don't want to be going to lumber yards anymore, I guess.
I understand. You've put your time in, that's for sure. We do have to cut you loose, by the way. Monsters at Work is going to be streaming on Disney Plus in July. You are 100% right.
Oh, there.
And
there you go.
Today is National Skilled Trades Day. He has been sounding the horn and the alarm for it for years and years, and he will continue to do so. It's been our pleasure to speak with actor John Ratzenberger. John, anything else you want to leave the folks with before we cut you loose?
I really miss that part of the world. You guys, I hope you wake up every day and realize just how lucky you are to live in paradise. And, God bless you. I'm glad somebody's doing it.
Thank you, John. It's not lost on us. Take care of yourself, sir. That's John Ratzenberger, ladies and gentlemen.